Hey y'all. Yeah, I need a moment. Hey y'all. My name is Michaela. Mika for those who know me, Kai for those who don't. Yes, I have a Minions blanket hanging up in my window, mind your business. Um, However, welcome to M.O.MReign University Confessions of a Pissed Off Parent. So, really, I'm creating this YouTube channel. Let me give you a little backstory on myself, okay? I am 32 years old. Soon to be 33. Pisces in our house. Soon to be 33. I have 10 children. I have a very loving fiance. Let me rewind that back. Yes, 10 children. Because I know some of y'all are like, what? No. Yeah, 10 children. So, collectively, between my fiance and I, we have 10. I have 6, and he came into the relationship with 4. Out of my 6, we have 2 together. Did y'all get that math? Yes? No? Do I need to write it down? Maybe? Y'all get it. Anyway, um, love those babies to pieces. Don't matter if they came from me biologically or not. Love them. Love them, love them, love them. Now, I'm creating this channel because as a mom of multiples, as a mom of more than 2 children, um, we need to vent. You know, we go through stuff, just like y'all single child mamas and daddies, and it sometimes it becomes overwhelming, and before y'all get to running y'all's mouth about it, nobody tell y'all to have so many kids. Again, mind your business. um if I want your opinion, I will ask for it. Anyway, so out of our 10 beautiful babies, 3 of those babies have a donor from hell. Okay. So we're not going to put his name out there, due to privacy and confidentiality. However, for those mommies out there who are currently going through shared parenting and custody and, trials and tribulations with the courts and unjust system, believe me, baby, I feel your pain. I do. I really, really do. So, confessions of a pissed off parent. I'm going to be completely transparent on this channel. Because, when you have your children, you have to be kind of censored. Well, I can't necessarily say that I'm censored. So, family that have tuned into my channel, I warn you. Okay, there's a lot of vulgarity, a lot of language. So, like Laurel from Dreamgirls, as a woman now. I love you though. But it is very important for me to be transparent. It is very important for me to be completely raw because, that's just the honesty in me. That is, I've come a long way. So it's very transparent for me to be honest. There are other mommies out there that may be going through the same thing. So I just want to, share my story. Let you ladies know you're not crazy. And tell the side that it's not always the bitter baby mama, okay? So again, 10 beautiful babies. We, 8 of us live in the house. Our other 2, we miss them dearly. Those are the bitter baby mamas. However, we make it through. But, my situation, I have twins. We have twins. 10 years old now. 10 going on 20. Jesus. And an 8, almost 9-year-old son who has ADHD. He may have a bit of dyslexia, and a whole world of issues. Now, and I say that lovingly, issues. Now, our twins are the same. Our twins were born 2.5 months early, developmentally disabled, although they are in 3rd grade now, and I don't care what nobody said, my babies were rock stars, okay? Rock stars. They have overcome challenges that the doctors wouldn't think that they would have even been able to stick a toe in to face, okay? Outside of that, they are my world. All of my babies are my world. Drive me up the fucking wall, but they are my world, okay? Wouldn't change it for nothing. So with these beautiful babies comes a demon from hell. I can't even give him the privilege of calling him a demon because demons are smart. Yeah. Demons have some type of intelligence, right? Yeah. Anyway, so, over the last 6 years or so, well, 6+ years, I've been in and out of the court system with this jackass, okay? And we're going to lovingly refer to him as Captain DH, which for those of you who do not know what that means dickhead. Okay? Again, confidentiality and privacy reasons, we're not going to call him by his government name. However, he is known as Captain Dickhead. DH for short. Okay? So, Captain Dickhead, we have been going back and forth in court over the last 6+ years. Okay, at this point, I could really give two flying shits what lies he likes to tell about me. I mean, if that's his truth, then, everybody's truth ain't credible. Especially for those who know me and know him and know the situation. But for those of you who don't, let me break it down. So, I've actually known this special case since I was about 14 years old. Okay? Me being young, dumb, and full of cum, tried to, well, not me, but he tried to swoon me at 14. Mind you, he's 7 years my senior. So, yeah, that was a crazy time, but we'll talk about that in another story. So, fast forward 5 years later to 19. At this point, I'd had my first child, not with him, Jesus, and that's another whole other dickhead we will talk about. Another episode, so stay tuned. So 5 years later, 19 years old, my daughter's 1, and I come across this dickhead again. So of course, it didn't work out back then when I was 14. Of course not, right? I'm still a kid. And it didn't dawn on me then at 14 or even at 19 that you got to be a special type of pervert, special type of person to pursue a 14-year-old. Even then, at 19 and he's 26, you still got to be a special case to pursue a 19-year-old. Still wet behind the ears, still got milk on my tongue. Yeah, I got a baby, but at the same time, I mean, the level of maturity, it's an uneven playing field. Now, I would like to toot my own horn and say, yeah, I've always been mature, but I mean, being transparent, that's bullshit. I was immature as fuck. Totally and completely. Anyway, so 19 years old, he definitely portrayed a side to me that it wasn't Prince Charming, but being the fact that I had never been in an actual, real relationship, he put on a facade and a charade that most girls would have, soak their panties over. So, he put on the image of family man, and I'm about my business, and treat my woman like a queen, and all this yah, rah bullshit. I fell for it for the first year and a half, 2 years. I was with Captain DH for about 5 years. After that 2-year mark, you can pretty much say that was it for me. The shit hit the fan, and it was funky, and I couldn't take it. And, a lot of things started coming to light that were well hidden in the dark. He was abusive, and always, mentally, physically, emotionally. And me not being educated on the signs, or me not being educated to the behavior, or me not being educated to, the reality of it, in my mind at that time was, oh, this is just normal, again, air quotes, normal relationship behavior. You have to stick it out. You have to make it work. This is how relationships go. Yada bullshit. That's not how relationships go. You should never be okay with a man telling you that you're never going to be shit. You should never be okay with a man wanting to bring in your, air quote again, best friend, ex-best friend, for a threesome, and telling you that you aren't enough. You should never be okay with, somebody playing mind games on you and making everything your fault when you've done any and everything humanly possible to fix things or to change yourself or to, I think I changed myself so many times. I was beyond the point of being a fucking chameleon. I was unrecognizable to myself. But I hid it well. And I hid it not only from myself, but I hid it from my family, from my mother, from my grandmother, from aunts, uncles, and cousins, from friends. Honestly, the couple that I did have. So, it became one of those things where day to day I was just kind of going through the motions. Every month, before I got pregnant with my twins, it was, damn, you're not pregnant yet. So, duh, goofy bitch, he's trying to trap you. It wasn't love. It was, that was gross. It was being controlled. And I guess the reason why I tell this story is, like I said, because there are other mommies out there who went through the same thing. Other women in general who have gone through the same thing, even men. And I can't even just generalize it because women can be fucked up too. They don't want to admit because that's beyond being a flaw. That is a mental illness. That is a dis-ease. They don't want to admit to being a dis-ease. They don't want to admit to being fucked up or mentally unstable. However, narcissism personality disorder is a real thing. And he is definitely the epitome of that disorder. Very narcissistic. Nothing ever his fault. If you call him out on his shit, it makes him vulnerable and he goes into a narcissistic rage. And it's sad, actually. For a long time, I was upset by it. I was bitter. I was very bitter. Because here it was, I'm like, well, I did everything bending over backwards, including allowing you to fuck me raw, no lube, metaphorically and physically. And this is what you do? You blame it on me as if it's my fault? I will fully take responsibility for my actions, for my wrongdoings, for my shortcomings. No problem. However, how can you force me to take responsibility for yours? And pause. I just want to reflect for a second. Y'all hear that? Silence. I appreciate silence. My house is always jumping. Always. But between the hours of 8:30 a.m., actually, take that back, 7:45 a.m. and 2:45 p.m., oh, baby. And I don't always get days off like this. I work anywhere between 8 to 12 hours a day, pending the day. So this right here, this is Jesus working. And I love it. Okay, but back to the story. I just had to reflect for a second. Lord, Jesus, thank you. Thank you. Okay, all right. Back to the story at hand. Anyway, so again, I share this with mommies because, like I said, you just never know who's gone through, who's going through, or could potentially go through things like this, whether male or female. Doesn't matter the gender. If you're fucked up, you're fucked up, and you need help, because it's not just the fact of hurt people, but those hurt people or those mentally disorganized, mentally ill people, or those diseased people are cutting themselves and they're bleeding on people who have done no wrong. Now, am I saying I was perfect? Absolutely not. I have done things in that relationship. I did things in that relationship that definitely antagonized who he was and brought out the worst in him. I also brought out the worst in myself, unfortunately. However, you learn. You live and you learn. But at that point in my life, I wasn't just living and learning. I was existing and managing through. So, and y'all gonna see a lot of air quotes. Anyway, again, it was one of those situations where, you know, like I'm here and I'm seeing the signs, but because I was so uneducated, so unaware, I didn't know really what those signs were. So, my mom was a single mom growing up. I didn't have my father. Um, he was definitely one of those mentally ill, diseased people who bled on others. And, to a point was narcissistic himself. So, it wasn't until later in life, a whole nother episode. It wasn't until later in life that I learned his ways the hard way. But that was in my adult years. So, it's trial and error because every girl who has her father knows how a man should treat her. Every girl that knows her father knows how, you know, respected she should be, how to see those signs, how to point them out, how to throw in the white flag or throw in the towel when you see the shit. Me, you can say I was very hands on in my learning. However, fast forward, pregnant with the twins. He was absolutely no fucking help whatsoever. Um, One of my twins was in the hospital for 3 months in the NICU because they were born so early. The other one was in the hospital for 5 months. So, that was definitely another feeling having to leave the hospital empty handed. I was devastated. I knew they were alive and well and that they were fighting. And, pretty much everybody tried to tell me, well, focus on your own healing and, yada, yada, yada. And I got that. I also had a 3-year-old at home. So, it was focus on your 3-year-old, focus on your healing. I got that, but fuck that. Fuck my healing. I want my babies and I want them all together. I needed all of my girls together. I love Janaya, my baby, my big girl, my teenager. Like I said, at the time she was 3, and she was more of a help to me than he was. Anyway, but after they came home, even after they came home, again, he was no help. But fast forward to our son, and he was absolutely I can't even call him a love child. I love him. Don't ever get it twisted. Don't misjudge that at all. I love my son. However, there was no love when he was created. It was literally pity. If that makes sense. Like, how you are ready to leave someone, you have one foot out the door, but one foot in, and you're like, what if I just give it this one last chance? But then the other side, you're like, yeah, no, fuck that bitch, go. It was one of those. It was like, okay, you can come in, you're in my bed, you might as well be useful for something. Really not even that. But it was pity. Like, you look at somebody and feel sorry for them, so you do dumb shit. I don't know. I still don't get it. Anyway. But yeah, that's how my son was conceived. However, son came along. I'm rocking it out. Rock star mom. And, it shit hit the fan again. So he disappears for 3 years. After those 3 years, he comes back filing all kind of shit. Joint custody, full custody, visitation, all this other rah-rah nonsense. So since that point, which was back in 2013, we have been to and from court. There have been a lot of lies, a lot of allegations, a lot of this, a lot of that. And, I've been labeled by the court. Come on now. I take care of my fiance and I. We run a whole ship. When he's not here, I run this bitch by myself. And everything has to be in pristine order. It has to work. It has to flow. There's no other way. There's no other choice. The only time you get to lax is on the weekends after you've done your chores. And you better not have no homework missing. And you better not have acted up in school. Some of that. So, with that being said, I definitely have, when it comes to my household, when it comes to my children, I definitely have, and I will admit it to no end, I definitely have control issues. Because the second I let up off these reins, shit goes haywire. And I don't have it to do. I really don't. It's gross, y'all. My hair is wet. I washed my hair before I made this video because it was wild and it was crazy. And y'all can see it drawing up because it's drying. So, I'm going to just have to respectfully ask y'all to mind y'all's business when it comes to my hair, okay? I'm working it out. Don't worry about that. Anyway, but I've been labeled by the courts controlling. I've been labeled condescending for how I speak to him because I don't take his shit. I don't listen to the BS. I don't listen to the lies. And I shut it down as soon as he starts speaking it. And this is the thing with the courts. The courts on the outside looking in. Essentially, it doesn't matter your race. You can be black, white, Mexican, Latina, Ethiopian. You can be Cuban. You can be Irish. It does not fucking matter. You are a case number. Okay? That is all you are, is a case number. Unless you are coming with hard fact evidence that, your spouse, your baby daddy, your baby mama is abusive, is an alcoholic or druggie, is, severely mentally fucked up, you literally will spend thousands of dollars fighting for your right to be a parent, because essentially that's exactly what you are fighting for. For the parents who take care of their children, no questions asked, no hesitation, no bullshit, that is exactly what you're fighting for, is the right to be a parent. Because you're going down here, they're creating a case number, and they're putting your name underneath it. And you have to prove basically that you are the parent that you've always been, and that this fucktard over here, your own personal DH, is not capable of doing the shit that you do to make sure that your child's well-being, mentally, physically, emotionally, educationally, health-wise, is A1 and stays A1. Okay? So, basically, if you're not kissing ass, if you're not bowing down, if you're not saying, okay, I give up control of, or I give up the reins on this, then you're labeled. And it's hard to shake that label and get them to view you as who you actually are. So when you go into a courtroom, and this is advice 101, when you go into a courtroom, as passionate as we are about our children, don't show emotion. Plain face. You gotta be. You gotta be. Because if you're not plain face, they will use it against you. They will use that shit against you. They will tell you that you are angry, that you need anger management, that you have problems, that, you're not capable of co-parenting because you're so upset. Meanwhile, this motherfucker over here grinning at you because they basically just lied to the court's face and got away with it. That's that shit I've been dealing with. I am a mom who has, I am that mom, okay? I am that mom, period. I am that mom who is up at 5:30 or 5:45 every morning with those babies, either finishing homework, getting them dressed for the day, making sure hair is done, important papers in the book bag, cleaned and pressed, on their way out the door, cleaning up the house, go to work, come home, make sure dinner's made, chores are done, house is clean, all of the above, extra reading time, all of that, taking care of sick babies while this baby has a science project. That baby done fucked up in school, so I'm disciplining him. And then we over here getting counseling services for this one because he just don't know how to express himself. I'm that mom. I'm that mom that will bake cookies depending on how I feel, because if it's been a 12-hour shift and we got homework to do, baby, we hitting the grocery store, okay? Walmart is my friend. But I am that mom. I am that mom that will do pop-ups. Okay? I will pop up at your school to make sure that you are on your P's and Q's. Because the second I see you out your seat and your teacher asking you to sit down, oh, I'm on your behind. We about to leave and go home real quick. We'll be back. We need to go have a conversation. I am that mom. I am that mom that will not let you fail. I am that mom that when you are sick, we not rushing to the ER right away. No, baby. We calling up mama. My grandmother. We calling up mama because we need a home remedy. And if that home remedy don't work, and nothing I do works, and nothing daddy does works, then we go into the ER. But please believe, it doesn't matter how ill you are, how contagious you are, you stay right up under mommy, right here, until you're better. I am that mom that will not sleep if I know my children are not right. They have been through way too much with their own personal issues. Yes, children have issues. In addition to the ones that were created around them And that's another video. So, yeah, there are just things that I just won't stand for. And given his character, and like I said, it's not about being a bitter baby mama, because what he and I went through, that's what he and I went through. That ain't got shit to do with my babies. I mean, it kind of does. It kind of does. But because I didn't have my father growing up, I know how imperative it is for them to know and learn him on his own. I did not have that choice. That choice was taken from me. So that's something that I vowed to never do. Now, when it gets to the point of him being physically abusive, which to an extent he is, his disciplining tactics are not, I'm trying to find the right word, they're not practical. Which, I mean, as black parents, what discipline tactics are practical? But at the same time, you don't smack your child upside the back of the fucking head until they have a headache because they're not moving as fast as you want them to move. Come the fuck on. Who does that? And if you do as a parent, give me your address. We need to talk. Anyway. Yeah. So at this point where it stands, shared parenting, I entered a shared parenting agreement thinking, which I wasn't thinking but not thinking, that he would actually step up to the plate and be a better father. False. That was actually a ploy. So, I don't know what it is, don't know what the problem is, really don't care. However, he uses my children to get to me. And I say my children because you don't use children as a pawn. Children are innocent bystanders in the midst of bullshit that was created by two parents who couldn't make it work in or outside of the relationship. So I don't say our children, I say my children. And I will stand by that. Now, and it's not being facetious, it's not being malicious, it is what it is. The reality of it is, you are not a good parent. Especially when you leave the responsibility, and this is what pisses me off. So this is the whole reason for the channel, okay? As hard as I work as a mom, and I'm yelling, I don't give a shit no more. As hard as I work as a mom, I think it is completely unfucking fair for him to be able to push his responsibility off when it comes to these three babies on his mama, on his bitch, which is my ex-best friend, and on whoever will take them, and be like having no responsibilities, like out here just really thugging it out like you have no responsibilities. Meanwhile, my fiance and I, we've been together for 8 years, okay? And don't be tripping. Yeah, we've been together for 8 years. We're getting married this year in May. So I ain't nobody gonna hear that, oh, y'all been together for 8 years and this long. No, shut up. Anyway, we take care of any and everything. No questions asked. It doesn't matter. We can't worry about what he's doing. We're not pressed about what he's doing. Like, not at all. I'm not going to sit here and question you and ask you about this and the other. Hey, can you do this? Especially if I know that you know that it has to be done or that it has to be paid for. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to just go ahead and hold it down, because when you have children, whether you have one or whether you have 15, it doesn't matter. There's a deadline for everything, especially when it comes to school. Even extracurricular activities. If you're putting your kids in gymnastics, ballet, karate, football, basketball, soccer, it doesn't matter. There's a deadline for everything. You have to pay. There's a deadline for you to pay for these sports. There's a deadline for you to pay for field trips. There's a deadline for you to pay for class parties. There's a deadline for shot records, all kind of shit. There's a deadline for everything when it comes to kids. Okay? Jesus, there's a deadline for every fucking thing. However, I don't know if y'all can see it. No, y'all can't see it. So I have a big ass erase board calendar hanging on my wall. And that is where everything goes. Because I not only have to keep up with my shit, I have to keep up with their shit and my soon to be husband shit. Okay? He's a man. He's a man. He's a man. Okay? Outside of him putting his clothes on, we wing it. He wings it. Okay. But I know. So I keep it all together. I'm one person, I'm one woman, but I definitely wear the S on my chest and I wear it proudly. And, it's not to brag, but it's to, and I tip my hat off and I give my absolute utmost respect to all of the mommies out there who hold it down, period. No questions asked, no hesitation, no bitching, moaning, and griping, no calling and begging. I give it to you. I give it to you. And believe me, baby, I'm right there with you. Right there with you. So, it's just one of them things where sometimes you just got to pull your big girl panties up and just do the damn thing. And for my single daddies out there who are raising their babies, I'm not going to take it from you either, because, it definitely takes a special kind of man to step up to his responsibilities, especially men with daughters. Okay. We have 5 girls and 5 boys, and our girls are becoming high maintenance, and I don't know where they got that shit from, because I can throw on some leggings and a t-shirt, wet my hair, and go, and I'm happy. I ain't gotta have my nails done. It's nice to get my toes done every now and then, but believe me, baby, I am happy. I don't know where they getting this mess from. And they're going to have a job if they think I'm about to be buying makeup and lip gloss every other week. And, they done already stole my big bag of nail polish, which is why I don't do my nails. So, but like I said, daddies, I give it to you. I give it to you. Especially those ones who, like I said, are raising girls, and even the ones who are raising boys. Because you have to teach your son how to be a man. You have to teach your son how to be a man. And when it comes to my 8-year-old, it's my fiance doing that teaching. You know what I mean? Now, when it comes to Captain DH, he is not, like I said, he's 7 years my senior. I'll be 33. He's 40. And because he's not coming to his own as a man, how the hell can he teach my son? So that responsibility was picked up by my fiance. Okay? So at the end of the day, it eats me up to high hell, and I have to be emotionless. Remember I said emotionless? I have to be, that's how I have to be when it comes down to this shit. Because first of all, I still got some pounds to lose, okay? I'm not 140 and 130 like I used to be, so I still got some weight to lose, baby. And because I still got a few extra love handles, I'm not spiking my blood pressure unnecessarily. So stay tuned, because y'all gonna be seeing me venting to y'all, quite frequently, getting this shit up off my chest, because I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not about to stress myself out over your bullshit. I bet I won't. It's gotten to the point now that he and I don't even talk. Like, he will send text messages to me. I will open it up, look at it, read it, see if it's absolutely something that is important, and I'll close it back out. Most times it's not, because most times he don't even have kids. Go figure. Doesn't pay child support. So for those mommies who are curious, our shared parenting agreement, he has every Wednesday and every other weekend starting on Thursday. And I didn't know weekend started on Thursday, but that's a court thing. Anyway, I entered the shared parenting agreement thinking that he was going to do what he was supposed to do, and shit is still the same. I still carry full responsibility. He doesn't pick up any of the weight. As a mom and as a woman, even him as a male, I'll put it like that, as a male who shared his DNA with my children, there should be no way that, I pick up a lot of your slack. But that's just one of them things. It is what it is. But hit that subscribe button, M.O.MReign University. Confessions of a Pissed Off Parent. We'll pick this up later, y'all. Love y'all.